Welcome, fellow metalheads, another edition of Fierce Metal. So today we're going to do part 2 of my favorite albums of January 2025. I have some honorable mentions I'm going to talk about here before I get into those. First up, we got FLESHBORE with their album Painted Paradise. This comes the 24th of January. 8 tracks, 36 minutes. These guys are a tech death band from Indiana, and this is just relentless, rapid-fire brutality. All right, next up on the honorable mention list, we have Burn Down Eden with their album Dismal, Epiphany. This came out the 31st of January. 10 tracks, 36 minutes. These guys are a melodic death metal band from Berlin, Germany. And this is on the heavier side of the melodic death metal with deep gutturals, pulsing snare drum, and blazing guitar. Next up, we have Consumption with their album Catharsis. This also came out the 31st of January. 12 tracks, 49 minutes. These are a death metal band from Sweden. This is just gritty, no-nonsense death metal with crunchy guitar, harsh vocals. There's some nice pace changes here and there, some nice melodic moments as well. All right, next up on the honorable mentions list, we have PYRE with their album Where Obscurity Sways. This came out the 31st of January. 10 tracks, 35 minutes. I've heard these guys be described as death thrash. So let's just go with that. They're from Russia, and this is just old school style with a modern production. And the pace goes from this mid-tempo to these high-speed crushing riffs, frantic vocals, and some killer solos. Those little chains glad. So more and more black metal's been seeping into my veins, and I got another one for you. We're talking about SKALDR with their album Samsr. This also came out the 31st of January. 7 tracks, 42 minutes. They're an atmospheric, melodic black metal band from Virginia. And this is just melodic, cold atmosphere with intricate guitar and this non-stop, relentless, pulsing snare drum. Harsh, raspy vocals, but it's as beautiful as it is brutal. Now that we got the honorable mentions out of the way, let's count down to my favorite album of January 2025. Now, this next album, I did a review on this about a month ago, and up until last week, it was my favorite album of the month. We're talking about MUTAGENIC Host with their album The Disease Machine. This came out the 3rd of January. 10 tracks, 41 minutes. These guys are a death metal band from London, England. This is just crunchy as hell riffs, dirty bass lines, and sinister vocals. The pace goes from mid-tempo, groovy chug to some doomy moments before it just crushes you all over again. Next up, we have SYNAPTIC with their album Enter the Void. This came out the 15th of January. 8 tracks, 34 minutes. These are a tech death band from Germany. This is just rapid-fire chaos from start to finish. You got these blazing fast guitars, complex thunderous drums, and ripping bass lines. And you got these in-your-face vocals. Next up, we have the MACHINIST with their album Contempt for Life. This comes the 24th of January. 8 tracks, 43 minutes. These guys are a black and death metal band from the United Kingdom. And from the odd time signature to the tortured layered vocals, it almost has an industrial vibe at times. And this album is a menacing journey with very technical songwriting as well and plenty of brutality. Next up, we have AFFLICTA with their album Origin of Sorrow. This comes the 31st of January. 8 tracks, 36 minutes. These are a tech death band from Italy. We're talking about brutal blast beats, rapid-fire vocals, wicked guitar work, and some killer bass. The songs are chaotic, but they're very well thought out. They mix in some nice, groovy chugs here and there to break things up nicely. Next up, we have Confess with their album Destination Addiction. And yeah, this one also came out the 31st of January. 10 tracks, 45 minutes. You guys are a death metal, groove metal band from Norway. You have these crunchy as hell riffs. They carry a really great groove. The pace is fast and fierce at times with these deep gutturals. Then you have these great guitar harmonies that really give the song some real depth. So after putting this video together, I couldn't believe on how many albums actually came out on the 31st of January. Absolutely crazy. I've listened to more music this week than I have in a long time. It's been one album after another after another. It's been so much fun putting this together for you guys. And this is in no particular order. All right, let's get back into this. We're talking about Empty Throne with their album Unholy. This also came out the 31st of January. 6 tracks, 40 minutes. These guys are a black and death metal, thrash metal band that started in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Get these howling, tortured vocals, fast trim style picking with catchy riffs. Then you have these earworm hooks and groovy as hell songs. All right, I got some deathcore for you. We're talking about HAINE with their debut album Fertile Void. This was the 24th of January. 10 tracks, 42 minutes. These guys are a deathcore band from Malta. This is their first full-length album. Once again, you got a very talented deathcore band that doesn't use a bunch of vomitory vocals and breakdown after breakdown. Just crunchy guitars, chaotic drums, and a great mix of gutturals and tortured screams. And I really dig the way the bass is up front in the mix. Next up, we have Grief Ritual with their debut album Collapse. This came out the 31st of January. 11 tracks, 39 minutes. These guys are a blackened hardcore band from England, and this album is not only sonically powerful with an absolute destructive sound, but lyrically as well. These guys pull no punches addressing how fucked up the world is politically, socially, and environmentally. All right, next up we have Maceration with their album Serpent, Devourment. This came out the 31st of January. 10 tracks, 39 minutes. These are a death metal band from Denmark, and these guys are one of the pioneers of that old school death metal style from Denmark. These guys go all the way back to 1992. There's just no nonsense, in-your-face brutality with classic buzzsaw guitar and sinister vocals. All right, we're finally here. My favorite album of January 2025 goes to Shrieking Demons with their album The Festering Dwellers. This came out the 31st of January. 10 tracks, 39 minutes. You guys are a death metal band from Italy. And this, for me, is nostalgic. These guys pay homage to bands like Death and Autopsy. And from the reverb-soaked vocals and that pulsing snare drum, and the guitar tone on here kind of came out right in the late 80s, like the beginning of like death metal with this raw, menacing sound. Now, this album could have been released in 1987, right along Death, Scream, Bloody Gore, and fit in perfectly. That's why it's my favorite album of January 2025. Killer stuff. So there we have it, my favorite albums of January 2025. I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you're new here, I do these videos every Friday. You know how much I appreciate your support. Hit the thumbs up, really does help my channel. So until next time, keep it furious.